Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Last Known Classic. This is episode number 2357 and Doubleshot 2251. I got two Marvel trades, one featuring Spider-Man characters and the other one featuring Deadpool. And the Deadpool one is something I haven't discussed in a while, but we'll talk about in a minute. Well, after I talk about this book. We have Mary Jane and Black Cat Dark Web, written by Jed MacKay. And today, I believe this is the last Black Cat book he's done to date, because he did the two volumes Black Cat, the first being 13 issues, the second one being 10, which the second one also an annual and a one-shot. Then you had the Iron Cat miniseries, and you had this one. Oh, wait, there's actually one more thing that he did publish before this. There was a Mary Jane and Black Cat one-shot published as part of the Spider-Man Beyond stuff. And that was it. Yeah. And here's the strange thing, though. The story for this miniseries leads into issue 26 of the current volume. Now, as for the whole Dark Web stuff, that's only there for the first two issues. And then, this is quite interesting. The rest of this miniseries, 3 through 5, has nothing to do with Dark Web. By the way, Go Goblin did the same exact thing, where it had two issues about Dark Web and just moved on to its own thing. Mostly put you have Black Cat working with Mary Jane Watson, which is revealed in this miniseries that she has powers. Yes, something which prior to this era for Spider-Man, it has never been mentioned before that she has powers. Well, when I talk about the most recent trailer that came out, I'll probably discuss more about that. Now, Dark Web stuff, it's a minor thing. It's like basically they just threw it as a tie-in for this thing. First two issues just as a marketing ploy, because after that it just does its own thing. And I think basically after it leaves Dark Web, it becomes, in my honest opinion, probably a much better miniseries. Because it's a fun adventure story with basically also featuring Balisco. Yeah, he is here in this miniseries, which is strange, because this character is associated with Kazar and the X-Men. And yet he's here fighting Black Cat and Spider-Woman. That's what Mary Jane Watson. At one point, they get their hands on the Soul Sword, where they split it in half, and they both get the powers of Ileana. Now, here's the strange thing, though. How the heck the Soul Sword got here? Never explained. It is just here for some reason, and they get their hands on it. I thought that was a fun thing to see here. And sadly put Black Cat in this miniseries, gets introduced to Mary Jane's family. A group of people basically prior to the Zeb Wells one that nobody even heard of or seen before. And also, by the way, this book I'm going to give basically a 9.5 out of 10. Oh boy. When I discuss next trade from Amazing Spider-Man, it will be something. Because the historic that came right after, like, basically that really good two-part, which also features Black Cat as well, it's a terrible story arc. Also, the artwork is inconsistent. The panels, every panel is very, like, it's like characters are changing their colors. The colorists basically would rather spend more time on Twitter and actually do their freaking job. Yeah, but this miniseries is actually really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and with that, I'm done reviewing Dark Web. You're thinking, really? Yes, really. Basically, almost anything associated with Dark Web was collected in the Dark Web trade, which I have discussed already. Then it was Go Goblin, and then this miniseries. And that was it. Yeah, for an event called Dark Web, it just involved two ongoing series, which mostly was Amazing Spider-Man and Venom. I know the event itself, mostly put, is the best way to describe Dark Web, it's a low-rent version of Inferno from the 80s. The only difference is, this does not affect the whole entire Marvel Universe. It affects basically a few books. The rest of the Marvel Universe doesn't bother to mention this event at all. And surprisingly, this event was set up basically when Zeb Wells did the Hellion series. So Zeb Wells probably wanted to do this event for the past few years. And now he did it. It's an interesting event. It's not terrible per se. I do agree with the opinion, basically, comes Dark Web. Making Ben Riley a villain, though some examples probably did in the previous run, was a terrible idea. And I agree. But this miniseries is a lot of fun. It is interesting, though, that Jed MacKay doesn't have Black Cat show up in either Doctor Strange. I would have thought, though, because he loves writing Black Cat, you would think she'd pop on the pages of Avengers. That would be something. Black Cat joins the Avengers. Because if you think about it, this would technically be her third group she's ever joined. Because the first group she joined, believe it or not, was the Defenders, when Matt Fraction wrote the book. Yeah, she wrote the book during the last half of the series, though the later kind of took place in the universe. But I do count it basically her joining the group. And then there was also, before that, was Heroes for Hire, which she was part of that group throughout the entire run. So her joining a group is not surprising. It's just that I don't know why Marvel's hesitant for her to join the Avengers. I mean, clearly you don't want Spider-Man there. Why not include Black Cat? Jed MacKay is writing the book. Or heck, have her, that would make more sense than there popping up in the pages of Doctor Strange or Moon Knight. Moon Knight might be a guest appearance, but I don't think it would make a supporting character. It would not make any sense to make the Black Cat a supporting character in Moon Knight. Avengers probably make a lot more sense. When? Don't know. Next up we have is Deadpool Epic Collection Volume 4, which collects from Deadpool Volume 1, Issues 0, 2133, Deadpool Team Number 1, and Encyclopedia Deadbookilia. This book covers the time period of, get this, you're going to love this, December 1998 to October 1999. And you're thinking, really? By the way, this is also the latest Epic Collection I've ever covered when it comes to years-wise, because the earliest was like early 60s. Now I'm basically in the freaking late 90s. Your writers for the issues are Joe Kelly and James Felder. Here are your artists: Pete Woods, Walter McDaniel, Anthony Williams, Yancey Labatt, and David Brewer. The first one is the original Marvel Team-Up issue, which is a spoof of... Secret Wars continues issue a decade after the event came out. Yeah, because Deadpool loves doing jokes. Yep, it's Deadpool for you. Deadpool month, we threw this one shot for Deadpool Team, which, by the way, the next time we had Deadpool Team Up was in the 2000s, and it was a ongoing series, though they had numbering backwards. Started with issue 899, and it lasted 17 issues. I think I covered it already. Mostly just Deadpool Team with a past version himself. It's good artwork, though. That's the best thing I can say about this one shot. Surprisingly, if you're used to basically with Gary, if you read this particular book and you know about Deadpool, you know the speech bubbles, and used to the Gary Duggan style of writing. This is Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly, I believe, was the original writer who wrote Deadpool ongoing series for us, which was with Gail Simone, which I'll get to her run. Don't worry about that. It's an interesting little one shot, and surprisingly, we would get something like this for years. Next up is Deadpool number 0. Oh boy, it's Deadpool versus a bunch of clones. Yep. Yeah, Army of Resurrected Rejects. There's even a clone version of, get this, Aunt May and Ben Parker we murders. It's a weird issue, and then basically we have issues 21, 22 build up the storyline called Dead Reckoning, which is like 3 issues. Mostly you have Deadpool just battling some gross people. Have a guest appearance here by Doctor Strange. Where Doctor Strange is probably feeling annoyed. Yeah. It almost seems as though basically read this book and he's so really? I'm in this book. And then 22, we have a guest appearance by Cable, his future BFF. Yep. Yeah, and what is Dead Reckoning, you might ask? It's a 3-part story arc that started with issue 23 and wrapped up with issue 25. Yes, seriously. Mostly put as Deadpool versus this creature for a few issues. And it's a pretty good storyline, don't get me wrong, it's not terrible. We have Blind Al as a supporting character here because, well, why not? But I think this is when she first showed up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, also Captain America gets involved in the storyline. Yeah, it's weird. I'm like, why is he here? Now you probably would ask this question: has Joe Kelly ever Captain America part of this? I think he may have. I'm trying to think. I don't think he maybe. I'm not sure. I'll consider that maybe. So, and then right after the storyline that we have, but at the end of it, we have the freaking Watcher show up. Yes, the Watcher. Yeah, that's issue 24. And then 25, it's like, oh, team with Captain America. But he's got an energy shield here. You might be thinking, what's up with the energy shield, you might ask. Well, that's something Tony Stark invented for him after he lost the shield. Is there's a vibranium shield, which would similarly recover that in later issue of his own book. Yeah, that was something Mark Waid did. So, yeah, Joe Kelly's going off what basically Mark Waid was doing. And you're thinking, okay, but what about the remainder of this book? The remaining 8 issues. It's like, okay, it's just a lot of interesting stuff for Deadpool. I get the fact this run is very beloved by a lot of people. And then the end of this issue has a guest appearance by Dr. Bong from Howard the Duck. And Wolverine pops up in the next issue. Why is Dr. Bong here? Because for some reason, and this is quite strange though. Joe Kelly probably had a fix for Howard the Duck, so bring in probably his only bad guy he had for his whole run. Dr. Bong. Yes, seriously, this is the guy's name. I love Howard the Duck. It is shocking that this guy never appeared in the Chip Zdarsky run. But my gosh, Dr. Bong is by far one of the most laughable bad villains that ever in history comics. Wolverine's here too. Which, by the way, love this artwork here. It's really good. Yeah, just basically Wolverine team with Deadpool. And by the way, not the last time these two would be teaming up with each other. Oh no, not yeah. And then basically, get this, in 28, after dealing with Dr. Bong, get this, we have Deadpool look like goes on like a little trip. And then we guest appearance here by Bullseye. Excuse me, like, really? Well, this could be just after he popped up in Daredevil. Makes sense. Because basically, in the Guardian Devil story arc, he killed off Karen Page, his long-time love interest. Yeah, it shows up here. It's like, oh, here's a really good joke. It's like, release your bladder yet, Missy. The cat's a friend of mine. Deadpool, how long's it been? It's 16 Grease. What's up, Bullseye? Yes, seriously. He seriously said this in this book, issue 16. Yes, because Deadpool is a fourth wall breaking character. Of course he believes he's a comic book character. Something Loki told him. Which, yeah, this is a fun issue. And you have, what's up, smooching with the hot lady in the comic. Yeah, right after he beats up Bullseye, have a smooch with the hot lady. And just pop up for the next. We have sort of a parody here of all things Star Trek in issue 29. And you have Deadpool. And you also have, and who's the blonde guy? I believe that's supposed to be Weasel. Yes, I believe that is Weasel. So yeah, it's a odd set of issues. And then for some reason we have a character who was later called Chickenhead later on, the Black Talon. Yes, seriously, that's what this guy's name is. Who is Black Talon, you might ask? He's a voodoo priest. And also, he was a recurring villain for She-Hulk. No, I'm not kidding about that. I believe Black Talon first showed pages of Avengers back in the 70s. I think he's an Echo Heart character. I believe, so don't quote me on it. And then you have Deadpool Go to Funhouse issue 30, which is called the Hell House. Also, 2-page spreads on the side. It's 90s, what do you expect? They always love doing this. Yeah, and Deadpool's unmasked with his disgusting face. Yeah, some of these issues are pretty good. And then we have, I'm not sure. I don't remember who this is. Marco Polo. I honestly don't remember who this guy is. Oh, it's a guy named T-Ray. Yep. And I think he's like the main villain in the last few issues of this book. This guy called T-Ray. Yeah, it's interesting for what it is. Then we have who is Deadpool. Yep. It's like the T-Ray story arc. Yep, and that's basically your finale. And you have Deadpool Encyclopedia, and that's it. This is pretty good. Not terrible per se. I'm gonna give this book. I'm gonna give it a fair rating, 8.5 out of 10. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly it for Particular View. Next up, go straight back to 5 and watch 2 episodes and back here for a review for that. And then, of course, one more Comic Corner, and that'd be pretty much it for tonight. Okay, next view. Bye.